morning guys, I hope you guys are doing well. It's kind of gloomy today, but for those who are new here, hi, my name's Andrew. I'm a remote software engineer and I've been working remotely for the past 4 years now. I already got my workout in this morning, so gonna get started with work. So before work, I usually make coffee and I make it in 2 different ways. So if I just want like straight black coffee, I use the AeroPress. And this is basically how it looks like. It's essentially like a French press, but a lot better because it actually has a paper filter that you can filter the coffee through, which blocks all the grounds from getting into your coffee as well as the bitterness from the coffee. So how it works is you basically put coffee in here, fill it with hot water, and then add the filter on top, and then you flip it around and you extract by pushing down here. But if I'm feeling more of drinking a latte, then I use the PicoPresso. This is what the PicoPresso looks like. It's essentially a portable espresso maker. You fill in hot water in the top container here, and then you attach the bottom compartment here with the coffee grounds. And all you do is basically pump down to extract the espresso. So in these videos, I usually start out and give an introduction about myself being a software engineer, but in reality, if someone out in the public comes and asks about what I do, I just tell them that I work in tech. And there are 2 main reasons why I just stopped saying I'm a software engineer. The first reason is essentially that I'm too embarrassed to say that I'm a software engineer because it gives them a fixed idea of who I am. If you think about who a software engineer is, you probably have an idea of like someone who's nerdy or someone who doesn't have that many social skills, or even someone who's prideful or full of themselves. But the thing is, I've worked with people like that in this field, and so it's somewhat true. There is a theme that software engineers have those traits. So because of that, I try to stay away from this fixed idea of a software engineer and having that title. That just gives us a bad look for the rest of us in this field. So I just say that, I just work in tech. And the second reason is that I don't want to tie too much of my identity to this job title. I remember seeing an article where a girl was hiking with her friends in the woods and tragically lost her life by a falling tree falling on top of her. And the headlines around this news was a Google engineer dies from a falling tree. And we all know too well that the news just wants clicks and eyes on their articles because it generates, revenue for their business. And I was so disturbed to the fact that they would demote someone's life to their job or the role that they had, because it doesn't tell the full story of who they are as a person and what they're going to be remembered by. If you guys haven't read the book Atomic Habits, I recommend reading it because it really changed the way that I see what I do throughout the day. In the book, it mentions how dangerous it is to put your job or line of work on a pedestal. Because once I have the strong identity of myself as a software engineer, and then moments later I get laid off, which it's going to happen pretty soon, my identity as a software engineer just gets taken away from me. And it could leave someone, who has a strong identity to their job or their line of work to feel lost in life. And so to fix that, you kind of have to identify with things outside of someone else's control. So instead of tying myself to my job title, I start saying that I'm someone who likes creating cool stuff because that's something that no one can take away from me. But yeah, these are the reasons why I don't say that I'm a software engineer out in public, because it just gives people a fixed idea of who I am, and I don't want to tie my identity too closely to this job title. But yeah, I just want to yap about this because that's something that I've been thinking about more and more recently, because I've been tying my identity with the roles I have rather than the things I actually do. But anyways, just gonna get some more work done, and then I do have to pick up some groceries from the store. Here's fine. Thank you. Got some more protein chips, protein bars, and kimchi. Lately, I've been kind of obsessed with these protein snacks. I have a bunch now. I just got these Quest protein bars that I'm excited to try, and also these protein chips, which are Mexican street corn flavored. I've been getting these protein snacks as a way of just convenience so that I don't have to, pick up a meal that's 10 to 20 bucks and it's not even healthy. So yeah, it's been working out for me, but they are kind of expensive. So I'm trying to be more mindful of how much I'm actually getting. So part of this new year, I'm trying to be more intentional about the things I buy. Last year, I spent so much money on travel and just some of the gear that I use. So for example, I bought this new lens and it went for like $800 to $1,000. I don't remember. It was a lot of money though. But now I'm not even using this camera. I've been switching over to the Canon PowerShot V1, which is what you're seeing now, and it's been working just fine. A top category that I was spending a lot on was groceries. So I've been trying my best to eat healthier by buying more protein and fresh vegetables, but all of my grocery purchases added up to 400 bucks a month just for me, which sounds kind of crazy. Maybe I'm just out of touch with how much the prices have gone up recently, but $400 plus for one person doesn't make too much sense. Maybe I'm overpaying. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about this because it's crazy how much prices have gone up recently, and seeing it in my grocery bill, it's kind of crazy. I've been trying my best to not eat out as much as well. And last year I was traveling a bunch. And so this year I've been trying to just lower the pace that I travel now. I also didn't budget last year. So now I'm thinking about putting a budget every month to see where my money's going and to have limits, especially since I'm planning on moving out. So rent is going to be a top expense for me. Lately, I haven't been feeling the flow state whenever I'm working on my project or just doing whatever work I need to get done. I feel like I'm just having a hard time just staying focused, but recently I've been thinking about utilizing more of my evenings, finding more ways to stay focused. There's a quote that Alex Hormozy said, and it was along the lines of, your 9 to 5 isn't killing your dreams, your 5 to 9 is. And it made me more think about how important it is to schedule my time after work to work on something that I actually care about. So I'm trying to be more intentional of how I spend my evenings. I used to watch YouTube videos or doom scroll for the majority of my evenings, and it didn't really get me anywhere. What I do in the evenings really depends on where I'm at and the work that I need to get done. So for example, filming these YouTube videos, I tend to edit around the end of the week, so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So during those evenings, I spend my time on DaVinci Resolve and just editing. It takes a long time. That's something I would outsource if I have the money to, but I've been filming and editing my own videos and I've been learning a lot. But again, it takes so much time just to do all that. But then again, I think about how balanced I need to be. I can't just be working all the time and neglect everything else in my life. So I've been spending some time just relaxing. Recently, I was just watching the UFC, and this weekend I'll be watching the UFC again. But also being consistent in making these videos and work on my project is a big key to moving forward, and that's been my recipe for the past year now, just being consistent with the work that I do, and it's led me further than I could imagine to grow something of my own and to just build and create.
Nowadays the pain follow me, deal with trauma privately. I don't wanna be a burden, I handle things defiantly. Spent a decade searching for a higher power guiding me. Figured out that faith is not up there, that it's inside of me. Act with execution, what's a plan with zero action? Faced with bad habits, knowing it's a magnet to my imbalance. I'm somewhere between confidence and arrogance. The middle ground is treacherous, I work on getting out of it. Pops is looking down, I feel him every time the sun shine. Back to being unsigned, I only got my bloodline. With me going forward, smoking cookie till we heard you taking shots, we pulled up on them, they was gun shy. 2 p.m. in Rome, we at the chapel eating sun-dried tomatoes and a plum wine. Life been like a movie, I don't know how long the run time. Hope it's an extended cut, but when I die, I load my consciousness onto a thumb drive. And upload it to the masses when I'm past.
So as I was mentioning earlier, I'm looking to move out and I've been looking for apartments to rent. It's been such a hassle because I have to first find the apartment online, and then secondly, I have to tour the place. The last time I've been on a search like this was probably like 3 years ago. I was planning on moving in with a friend, but that didn't work out because I wanted to stay here and just save some money before actually moving out. But I also wanted to figure out my career and what I wanted to do in the future. So thankfully, staying here and taking time to figure out my finances and figure out my career, it was super helpful just to think about all that while, saving some money along the way. That's been on my mind, and I've been looking at some places. I've already found a few. I also feel the prices of rent have gone up so much in the past few years. To find a decent spot, it's probably like close to $2,000. And for me, I'm like trying to balance having a good place as well as, keeping the cost low. And I definitely don't want to overpay for a bigger spot if I'm not essentially using it. So I'm trying to find a perfect spot in a good location that works within my budget. It's been a tough search. I definitely need to find some more. And I know the market's not too bad right now, but just the prices are insane.